Hey guys and gals of YouTube, how y'all doing? Hey, Boyd here. We're going to discuss the LEGO Mars Mission 7645, the Crystal Reaper. Well, there's actually two builds because, you have the combination box with the, I won't even say good guys and bad guys. We'll just say these guys and these guys. Got the astronauts, Earth. There's three different ones with three different face prints. They have printed air tanks. They're quite basic, but the way they're designed, they'll fit directly into the vehicles, and if they had air tanks, it probably would not. It came with two books, 76 pages each. Ironically, the same covers. But book number one will show how to build the alien craft along with some of the upper parts of the Crystal Reaper. And then book two is the lower parts. Also, I'll throw it out there real quick. You can power function the Crystal Reaper, which would be very cool. Now, go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room real quick. If you're not familiar with the basic Mars mission alien, and I did not say Martian, I said alien, because that's what's interesting about this. Depicted in this line is this very basic figure that he only has 2 points, his arms don't move, but he can be clipped over and hold things. Both the astronauts and the aliens would be xenomorphs to the planet Mars. Let's go with the alien build, the flyer first. Now here, this flyer is very cool. It is made in a similar style with the lime green and the trans neon green and the black pieces. It does have spears, I guess depicting lasers, I suppose. And these very cool bomb builds, which do appear in some of the other 2008 sets. Not particularly exciting from the bottom, but we don't really look at these sets from the bottom then. Plus, it would allow for sociability. These wings are adjustable, flat, or we can bring them down pretty rakish, actually. Quite a lovely little model. And there's a unique, now this is heavily stickered, but I do like the iridescence. That's very nice. There is a problem with these designs. Because they don't have moving arms and stuff, they tend to fall out. 2007 was full of models that would drop their figures. This weapon on the front is very cool. And the fact that it's not only is it the globe piece, it has a little crystal inside. This is the whole energy of this whole line. Oop, look, I just broke it. Well, we won't worry about that, will we? We'll assemble that off camera. Or maybe we won't. We'll just throw it in a box. Now we'll put it back together. They do include this clip piece to clip him to the seat. David, what's that stud in the back of his head? That's where his eyes come from. Isn't that kind of cool? And when you pull this out, of course, it creates a hole in his chest. And the other thing that I found very curious, very, very interesting and entertaining about this figure, I do like the figure, by the way, is the arms and the legs are exactly the same mold, just reversed. And if you want to have some fun here, you can compare him to the astronaut, to the regular minifigure, and see that he's quite tall. This use of the trans piece in the back of the head is interesting, the cylinder, because you can change him to red eyes, which would not be canon, I'm sure, or even a black stud to indicate maybe death or no power there. Kind of cool. But the real thing I'm so excited about this set, and I've long since wanted one, is the Crystal Reaper. I think it's one of the most impressive models from this line. That would include the Eagle Base, although the Eagle Base has a curious play feature, which we'll touch on bases. We don't currently have that set, but we probably will get it. This is missing some stickers here. Like I said, that one big problem with this set is a heavy use of stickers and no printed parts that I can find at all. But what's curious is not only do these tracks roll beautifully, there's a series of gears with reversing gears so that the blades turn the opposite direction, and also these scoops, which would indicate probably a mining vessel of some sort. Now, first of all, let's go ahead and look at this fully from the back view. It's a very heavy, these tracks are beautiful. It works incredibly well, and I really like the saw blades. If we go to the very back section here, you notice there's a little ramp here that will drop down and allow this little vehicle to roll out. It's actually a Rover. It really reminds me a lot of another line I'd seen. I can't put my finger on it. It was back in 1999. It does remind me of something I've seen before. It's different, of course, the wheels, but this piece here on the back is very reminiscent. But you'll notice the color of gray is different because 2003, the Rock Raiders gray, this various light gray and dark grays were, we said goodbye to those. Not to mention, this is back in the days when we had the chrome pieces. Very, very nice. Okay, this piece on the front, this windshield, I think works rather well. That has levers. There is a rather lack of printed anything, including controls, but there's a unique build and design, and the fact that it has these little flaps that come down the normal wings. They are stickered, of course, but it creates an interesting canopy, just a kind of interesting look to the vehicles. Also, 2008 solved a problem. Some of the 2007 sets of wheels don't really turn when they're a little bit too low to the ground. But this little dump opens up in the back, and you mine for these little crystals in this line. This ship here lifts right off, and it's pegged in close here, and then the anti-studs here. Now let's look at carefully. We have these little jet engines, that little turbines on both sides. So I would say this would be your in-atmosphere vehicle probably. This goes straight up, makes a fairly decent cockpit. No controls of any kind. What do you mean, David? I mean, there's no controls of any kind, just the two antenna pieces. We do have an interesting gun build. This is quite impressive. We have these little grabby hands made from the droid arms, which I think is interesting. I'm not really sure sometimes things to make out on this. It seems like this line suffered a little bit of identity problems. Like, was it a toy? Was it a Lego set? I'm wondering if we're missing something here on the back, because we do have the studs on the back here. We'll have to look into that. There's part of the power connections there. I don't know. Maybe not. It just feels like there's something. And you're probably saying, aren't you sure? No, I'm just literally going over it. This is my first time having this set in hand. Anyways, these designs here, these are actually projectiles because this has a very unique firing system. Little plastic piece here, and you push this back into here. This is not just round, it's actually grooved. You can see there or not. So it's kind of cool. Pull it back, and it does sort of move around. It's got the Gallagher joint. Doesn't really, yeah, it's not that impressive, but I find it interesting that Lego is apparently experimenting so much with these pieces. Inside this cabin details, we have one of those crystals and some weapons points. And when we bring this down here, we can see this whole platform, the way it's made. Got a series of lights, got this box here, which has more crystals in it. And like I said, these gear pieces with the saw blades. And then it's like some sort of maybe a power generator or something. And this is where the dark side of this whole line shows, which I find is very interesting, especially for an AVOL, is this. We have one of the crystallians or crystal aliens hooked into a power source as though he's powering this vehicle, because if you look at the sticker detail here, it's showing power levels going up, and it's literally attached through his chest. Now there's some other lines in this toy line that includes like a canister where they can carry either the gems or a captive alien, and that Eagle One base has a unique detail where it looks like there's a storage, like as if the aliens are now being harvested. Anyways, we'll get back into that more. This has been kind of drawn out. I've been talking deliberately slow for emphasis, and also I'm just kind of experimenting here. I don't know the sets that well. I definitely slept on these sets, and I wasn't that enamored by the colors or the look. But when I saw a YouTube channel talking about this, or a piece of one together, I became very fascinated by the blades and then the lore behind the aliens being sucked dry like that. And that has caused me to kind of investigate this whole line. But anyways, it's been a very long video, and I've been talking way too long. I want to do some unboxing stuff. Till next time, you all stay safe. Give me your comments what you think. But either way, at the end of the day, this is one of the most amazing Lego tanks I've ever seen. I know they've made a few. I have a bulldozer upstairs, and what I really appreciate about this is the size of these tracks. Just the look and how easily this runs. There's no problems of any kind. I just find it. I just find it kind of amazing. Sometimes I find myself thinking, I really like the Lego sets they have now, but boy, they sure have made a lot of cool sets over the years. Yeah, I gotta fix this here. It is absolutely falling apart. That's one downside about old Lego sets is sometimes their age shows, and what was once sturdy is no longer sturdy, but that's okay. Till next time, y'all stay safe. Be well, be safe. Let me know what you think. Ciao.